Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are doing well out there. All right. It's Monday. Happy MLK Day to every single last one of y'all. Happy MLK Day. All right. Man. So I know some of y'all have this day off. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all don't, okay? Some of y'all are still grinding, you know, as I've been saying, just out here grinding, putting in the work. I commend every single last one of y'all for just, you know, for having the day off or not having the day off. I understand. Some people have no days off. You feel me? All right. But good morning to every single one of y'all, okay? Happiest of MLK Day, okay? It's nice to be here. And one thing that's really cool, because MLK Day obviously represents so much, right? Let me turn this down a little bit. It's a little hot. Let me turn this down. But one thing that I think is really cool is that, you know, that whole "I have a dream" speech, right, is actually happening right now today in this chat room. Just want to say that. In this family chat, there are people from all over the world of different shades, colors, creeds, beliefs. And we're all in the same room, in the same chat room together, chopping it up, arguing, disagreeing, laughing, crying. But we're sharing these emotions together as a what? Family. So, happiest of MLK Day to every single last one of y'all out here in this family chat. And for those y'all who are watching in those bleed seats that don't chat, but do watch from afar, happiest of MLK Day. Because again, his dream is really happening. I know that we still have our moments. I know we still have issues, and that's just life. Okay, nothing's ever going to be perfect. But hey, one thing that is reigning true right now is that every single last one of y'all is in this chat of all various races, all various backgrounds. It's an amazing thing, okay? So I just wanted to make you guys realize that and see that before we push on into this show, because I got a variety of different things I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. Not only just on the Brian KOHBERGER stuff, there is some other stuff that I've been wanting so badly to talk to you guys about, but there's been some other things that I've been having to cover and, you know, of course, having to take care of. All right. But there are some things that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today in this show. It's going to be a short show, but it will be a very packed show filled with a bunch of stuff. So just get ready. Also, one other thing that is very cool is today, at the end of this very show, I will be announcing the winner of the $100 giveaway from Swag It. Okay, so that still says, it still means you got some time to win some of this monies. Okay, 100 smackers is going to be given away to one of you lucky people, and all you got to do is download Swag It app. Okay, click on that link in the chat, in the family chat, right there. Linked to at the top of the family chat right now. Okay, it's pinned to the top. Hit that link, download Swag It app, follow me, The Pascal Show, one word, comment and like some of my videos. It's very simple. And you're entered in to win. It could be somebody who downloads the app in the next 5 minutes. It could have been somebody who downloaded the app a couple weeks ago. Doesn't matter. You still got time to win $100. So go download the app. Follow me, The Pascal Show, one word. Comment and like on a couple of my videos. Okay, a handful. All right, and you're entered in to win. Okay, guys, it's that simple. The winner will be announced at the end of this very show right here. Okay, and then of course, when that announcement does come up, I'm going to give you guys some a place to go and some guidelines for you, some directions for you to go so you can go and get that money. Okay, guys? Okay. And I know some of you guys are over across the pond, or you guys are international and all that. They will be opening up the app very, very soon to other countries here very, very soon. But right now, it is based solely in America right now. Okay? Just so you guys know, because I know some of you guys are like, hey, the link ain't working. It's not doing this, that, and the third. And if you are in another country, it's not going to work for you guys. Not yet, at least, but very, very soon. Okay? So, of course, some other housekeeping we got to do really quick. Do me a solid. All right? Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your doggone name. All right? And if you haven't done it yet, and send those likes past 300 likes, okay? Because a like don't cost a thing, and it helps this channel. Really does. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated, okay? All right. So now we get all that stuff out the way. Let's get into some things because we got some things to talk about. And like I said, today is kind of a variety show, a variety of different conversations, a variety of different topics. But nonetheless, we will be talking about the main event, which is exactly what you guys are all here for, the Nancy Grace interviews and all that stuff. And then, of course, we will be talking about a slew of other things as well. Okay? But as you guys already know this woman. Okay? Y'all already know Nancy Grace. And if y'all don't know who Nancy Grace is, then I don't know what to tell you. You guys have been living under a rock. Now, I did talk about this recently with Justin on TikTok when he came on at the latter half of one of my shows with Andrea Burkhart. I think it was the first time Andrea Burkhart ever came onto the show ever, right? But we did talk about this briefly. And of course, I wanted to talk about this a little bit as well with all you guys because let's be real. Some of y'all are feeling some type of way. Some of y'all feeling some type of way about Nancy Grace showing up to Moscow, Idaho, right outside of the house where all these tragedies went down. Now, I know some of y'all feel some type of way. The only issue I say about this, because there's people out here that are posting things like, get the F out, leave Nancy. I mean, people are trying to put her on the cancel chopping block right now. And that's still happening still to this day. I still don't understand why people are so upset about this. Just personally, I'm not sitting here trying to defend Miss Grace. I'm not trying to sit here. I'm just trying to understand. Okay. That's one piece I'm just trying to understand because let's be real. There are multiple media outlets standing right outside that door, filming every day. And she comes out and she does one show and everyone's losing their minds. And maybe for me, sorry, my ear itches like crazy. Now, maybe for me, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm completely disconnected from this. Okay. And maybe I'm disconnected from this whole Nancy Grace thing. But that's one thing, I have barely talked about this woman on this show. Barely. But I've started to see how much cancellation, all right, people are pouring into this woman. And I'm still wondering why. Now, Positive Dutchie just said, it's the table. So it's just the table that she's sitting there chilling, doing like her whole show in one spot, right? It's not because, let's see, Brian Enton standing outside of it on his own 2 feet every time he's live. Or every time he goes onto News Nation. You see what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I'm not here to sit here and be on Team Nancy or against, you know what I mean, pro or con for or against Nancy. I'm not. Okay. I'm just trying to understand it. Okay. Because like I said, there are many other people out there standing there holding a microphone. People have done drives around it. People have done tours around the house. Oh, this is where he could have walked through. This is where he could have done this. This is what blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering why is everybody mad at Nancy Grace right now for doing exactly what everybody else is doing? The only thing she's doing is sitting down. That's the only thing I see is like, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying? But then again, I understand people are mad. I get that people feel like what Bet just said. All right. She said she could be annoying sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So can I. Does it mean she gets thrown on the cancellation chopping block because she's sitting in front of that house? Maybe it's unpopular opinion what I'm saying here. Maybe it's not, but I don't know. It is very interesting that people are very angry about this. But, and a very big but, she did get some interviews, right? Which we are going to get into like right about now, okay? That I think, hey, she did something. She went out there, she interviewed a neighbor that actually apparently became friends with Bryan Kohberger. There was also I think I talked about it in another show. Okay. King Bob said, Pascal, annoying never. I see the sarcasm. You laying it on really thick right there. Okay. All right, King Bob. I'm watching you now. Okay. But actually, let me pull this up. Let's see. Yeah. So this is something I pulled up a while back, just a few days ago when this whole thing was popping off. But you can see it right here. Obviously, it says neighbor of Bryan Kohberger says suspect talked about the Idaho tragedy. All right. Now let's look at this, and then of course we do have the interviews from Nancy Grace interviewing the neighbor. Of course, he's off camera and all that, which we're going to be looking at here very, very shortly. But it gives you kind of a small snippet into the idea of what this individual, what BK was like. You'll see in just a second, because I had a different title for this show. And then a different quote for this show, which was basically, will you be my son's friend? Because apparently his father was trying to help Bryan Kohberger make friends, right? Trying to make connections for him, making an effort, because obviously Bryan Kohberger was a socially awkward dude, allegedly. But we're gonna get into that in just a minute, okay? But it says here, a neighbor of Bryan Kohberger's in Pullman, Washington, said the suspect in the tragedy of the U of I students spoke to him about the unalivings days after they occurred. The neighbor asked not to be identified. This is the same neighbor that we're going to be hearing speak. Okay, we'll be hearing his voice, and apparently his wife also says something in the background, basically kind of like keep him away, kind of thing. Okay, he brought it up in conversation. The neighbor exclusively told CBS News on Wednesday. He asked if I heard about the unalivings, which I did, and then he said, "Yeah, it seems like they have no leads. Seems like it was a crime of passion." At the time of our conversation, it was only a few days after it had happened, so there wasn't much details out, the neighbor added. Now, the only pushback, of course, yes, there were no real details of anything. The only piece of information that was really out here, okay, the only piece of information that was really out here in these streets, okay, was that the mayor even spoke out and said, "Oh, it's This looks like a crime of passion, right? And then, of course, he went back to say, oh, no. It wasn't a crime of passion, so on and so forth. It keeps bouncing back and forth and this, that, smack it up, flip it. It's been all over the place. Okay. So the only pushback I would say is if you are watching the news and listening to the news or consuming the news by periodicals or in articles and all that stuff, whatever it may be, you're going to hear that phrase, a crime of passion, right off in the very beginning. Even when we reported it in the very beginning of this whole trial or this whole case, right? We did talk about how the mayor said it was a crime of passion out loud. But then later on, he retracted that and said, I spoke too soon. They also said it was a targeted attack. Then they said it wasn't a targeted attack. Then they said it was a targeted attack. You see what I'm saying? It just kept going on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So the only pushback I would say on this is that maybe he was just reading the news. That's the only thing, when we look at this whole thing in a more critical, independent way, not only just by the narrative of what the court of public opinion is going to be putting out here, all right? Because it's very easy for us to sit here and go, yeah, him guilty, which I still feel in my heart of hearts that he is the guy, okay? But if you think outside of that box and look in, this could just be a conversation of a guy having a conversation with his neighbor about something that just happened less than 20 miles away from their crib. It is kind of crazy and scary. And you got to remember, everybody and their mama, most likely at that time, was talking about in that town and outside of that town, this terrible tragedy. That's the only pushback I'll say. I mean, we're going to be playing some of the interview with Nancy Grace and all that stuff. But at the same time, think about it. Everybody and their mom was talking about this. Now, let's hop on the other side of the court of public opinion, which is him guilty. Okay. This could have been his way of trying to see if anybody else has heard about what he has done. Either he was doing that out of ego and wanted to see how quickly the stories have spread like wildfire, hoping that he would get some love, right? Or, just like an ego trip. Because, of course, his masterpiece, let's just be real, he wants to see how far his masterpiece has reached out so far. Or he's trying to find out if other people have some inside information about what law enforcement is up to. Always keeping a feeler out there to see what the heck is going down. Possibly. Like I said, the possibilities are endless with this thing because right now they still haven't really pinned anything on him solid. They still haven't found a way to stick him in the room doing these said unthinkables. And that's the job of the prosecution right now. Of course, working very closely with law enforcement to try to find a way to put him physically in that space, in that house, at the time of these tragedies. And you're right, Lauren S. Narcissistic behavior at its best. So it could be a narcissistic move where he's like, have you heard about my work? Like, you know what I mean? Disgusting, right? Or he's just like, yo, you heard about this thing that went down there? This is crazy. Two completely different things. The options here still very vast and are both very logical, right? But let's continue on this article, okay? And then we're going to go into the Nancy Grace, okay? I am here. I love Nancy Grace. She's fun. Anyway, let's see. It's a few days after it happened, so there wasn't much details out. The search warrant for BK's apartment in Pullman, Washington, has been temporarily sealed by an Idaho judge. The judge said details could prematurely end the investigation and create a threat to public safety. Now, This is another piece. This chunk, I'm going to try to remember to come back to this chunk here in just a little while because I want to. There's something else that's been circulating now even more, and it's interesting. I will say that. Okay, it is very interesting. It's very. I keep saying that over and over again, but it is very interesting. Okay, so we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But I know all y'all here. Excuse me. I know y'all here because you guys are here to hear the conversation that Nancy Grace has with this neighbor. Okay? So let me get this up here for you. So she went, okay, remember, I just showed you the photo. She was in Moscow, Idaho. She did a special show right outside of the house. Of course, people were heated. People were very heated about it. But yet she was still able to get a few interviews, and one in particular, an interview with one of the neighbors, that the same neighbor that was interviewed by CBS. She got another interview with him as well. Okay. Yes, you see what I did there? You see what I did there, Matt? So let's get going here. All right. And hit the number one. Let me know. These are very short clips. Let me just say that too. Hit the number one. Let me know that you guys can hear this. Okay. So let's rock and roll.
When he first moved here, I invited him to a pool party because he was new.
Yeah.
Had no friends. He actually came out, talked to everybody out there. They were, he was social with everybody. When I met his dad, he was like, so I was talking to his dad outside first because his dad was out there. Brian must have been organizing the apartment. He was like, why don't you meet my son Brian? He has some trouble making friends sometimes. And then he came down and he was a little odd, but I'm kind of odd to some people, so I didn't think much of it. And, I met him. He was nice and neat, social. So when I went to the pool party and after, we were talking in here, I was like, it's weird that your dad says that you're antisocial or whatever he was saying, because you're not that way at all.
Now, I don't know why the last few seconds there's like the last few 5 seconds get kind of muted out. I don't know why that happens, but at the same time, you can see, at least from this neighbor, the neighbor's basically saying, hey, his dad went up to me and said kind of like, well, you be my son's friend because he's socially awkward. He has a hard time making friends. Even the guy here said himself, yeah, I can understand. Like, he may be weird, but he may act weird, but I'm also weird too. Okay. I'm also a little weird, so I understand, And I think a lot of people that are, in that realm of maybe a bit antisocial or a bit socially awkward, for lack of a better term, I can understand those similarities can make you gravitate towards each other, become swift friends because you're kind of like, you understand my struggle too. So we have something in common here. So that's what I see here, with this. The dad just wanting to, help his son out a little bit, which to me does not mean anything bad. Okay. That just means a father trying to help his son move to a whole new place on the other side of the country, and maybe be able to acclimate himself more comfortably with having a friend nearby. To me, that sounds like a good dad. Outside of that, there's more. So let's get into it.
Talk about my wife, though.
Oops. I think it's this one.
But to you, he actually says, have you heard about the murders?
Nope, not yet. Sorry, guys. Let me get this one.
Talk about my wife, though.
All right. Sorry. The way I have these, they're kind of chronologically skewed up. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. This is another part of the interview. There's like 4 videos, 4 very short videos, but we're going to watch them together as a family. Let's roll.
talk about my wife though, because my birthday was like real shortly after this pool party, and I told her, I was like, I'm gonna invite Brian because he's still new. So I know what it's like to be new somewhere and not have any friends. And she was like, don't invite him. Like she had an intuition about this guy.
I'm telling you, women's intuition is real. Did you ask her why?
I just can't put a finger on why, and I'm trying to think. Like I don't know. I can't really put a finger on it.
It's really, really odd that your wife picked up on that.
Well, like you said, women's intuition.
Again, very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Let me play this other one here too.
But to you, he actually says, have you heard about the murders?
Yeah, when we were talking right here, he said, have you heard about these murders? And I was like, yeah, that's because it just happened. Like there was like a few articles. There was not much detail on it at all. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, I read like an article. There's not much about it. He's like, yeah, it seems like they don't have any leads. And I was like, yeah, I guess not. And then he's like, yeah, they think it's a crime of passion. I was like, yeah, well, I don't know. I've read one article. I'm not really sure what they're thinking. And then he kind of left it at that. But he did bring that up. Like it was a normal conversation.
Now, again, like it was a normal conversation. And again, like I just said earlier, it could mean two different things, y'all. I mean, we're sitting on the fence with this bad boy. And I know some of us don't like that. I know some of us don't like that. But we have to be realistic. There's still two sides to this story. Just like when I did that Speak On It segment a couple days ago, and I said, I want to hear y'all's opinions, okay? Majority of people that called in said, him guilty. But there was still that one call that said, hey, I don't think he did it. I really don't think he did it. There are going to be people out here that are thinking that side of the fence because they're saying the evidence doesn't really put him in the place. Technically, it does not put him in the scene of the crime. Yes, he's in the area, but that doesn't put him at the scene of the crime, right? So that's going to be a lot of people. So when we look at this and we hear the story of, oh, he was talking about it and it's a crime of passion and whatnot, it's easy for us, given the fact that the narrative has been constructed in such a way. And obviously, he is the one who's arrested. He is behind bars. He is shackled up. There's other things that are involved in this, but it's very easy for us to look at this in one particular perspective and say, that's it. This is the guy. That's it. But could very well be, and I'm just speaking on the critical thinking and thinking on the other side of the fence, because I still think him guilty. But this also could just be an innocent conversation that he was having with a neighbor. And then again, it might not be. So we have to play it like that. We have to look at it as critical as possible, as balanced as possible, even though I'm still leaning on the other side, y'all. Let's keep it real. I think him guilty as hell. And to me, this is a very narcissistic approach to seeing how much his latest, greatest work has spread through his town. The fact that if he's talking about it, he's like, heard that was a crime of passion. You hear anything about that? You hear anything about my greatest work ever? My masterpiece, right? That could be his way of just trying to find out what the heck's going on and see if he got it. See if he did something that became national news. And if this really is the situation, if he really is the guy who did this thing, before he got caught, he was getting off on this, I'm sure. This has turned into an international story. Like I've said before, I got people who are watching this show from all over the globe. All over. People, y'all are commenting in the family chat, watching from Saudi Arabia, watching from Tokyo, watching from Dubai. This is a international story, y'all. That's how far it's reached now. You don't think that he's on the inside doing cartwheels and backflips right now? I guarantee you he is. I will tell you that. But I'm going to play this one more time so you guys hear that piece, because this is really the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Okay? Let's go.
But to you, he actually says, have you heard about the murders?
Yeah, when we were talking right here, he said, "Have you heard about these murders?" And I was like, yeah, it's like, because it just happened. Like there was like a few articles. There was not much detail on it at all. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, I read like an article. There's not much about it. He's like, yeah, it seems like they don't have any leads. And I was like, yeah, I guess not. And then he's like, yeah, they think it's a crime of passion. I was like, yeah, well, I don't know. I've read one article. I'm not really sure what they're thinking. And then he kind of left it at that. But he did bring that up. Like it was a normal conversation.
Yeah, like it was a normal conversation. I'm just playing it again for you guys to hear that in the nosebleed seats, okay? But we do have one more video from this interview. And these are text messages. So I'm going to try to read them as best as I can because this is a very short clip. But this is apparently a text message that he
The
was
last
receiving.
message I got,
A text message that he received on Thanksgiving, allegedly, this neighbor. So I'm going to play this video real quick, and then I'm going to go back and try to pause it so we can actually see the conversation, right? So let's roll this.
the last message I got, he said, "Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family." And this was 11 days after.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
So let me pull this up because that's literally all that's being said here. It says, "What's good? What's good? Hey, bro, nothing much, but I've had the flu all week. Try to feel better soon, man." So what's good? So he goes, "Hey, you want to go? You want to go something? You want to go to something? I'm about to head over there right now." So Brian looks like Brian has an Android. Boo! I'm just kidding. It's all good. If you have an Android, I don't throw that much hate. But from his Android phone, he's the green. Okay, so he says, "Hey, you want to go somewhere? I think it's you want to go eat or something. I don't know what that is. Okay, you want to go to something? I'm about to head over there right now." So he didn't respond. This neighbor. Okay, so then he says, "What's good?" Then he says, "Hey, bro, nothing much, but I've had the flu all week." This was on November 4th. Okay. Continuing on November 4th. "Try to feel better soon, bro. Or soon, man. Somehow I've managed to avoid getting sick this semester." This is what he said. He says, "Thanks, man. Today I finally felt good enough to go back to class. So I think Monday I'll be 100%. That's good. Did you get a flu shot?" Then down, that's 20 days that they didn't speak via text message. Okay. Then it says, "Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family." He says, "Hey, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving." Okay. Now, if I'm correct, isn't that, or do I have an opposite day? Oh, no. So I have an opposite day. So my bad. Let me repeat that again. Let me go back to that again. So he didn't have the flu. I am sorry. So apparently he reached out. The roommate or the neighbor reached out to Brian. So he said, "Do you want to go out?" I have it backwards. Okay. So he says, "Hey, you want to go to such and such?" This is what the neighbor said. "I'm about to head over there right now." Brian does not respond until God knows how long this time gap is here. So then Brian texts, "What's good?" He says, "Hey, bro, nothing much, but I've had the flu all week." Okay. Then he says, "Try to feel better soon, man. Somehow I've managed to avoid getting sick this semester." That's what he said. So he hadn't gotten sick according to November 4th. Then the neighbor says, "Thanks, man. Today I finally felt good enough to go back to class. So I think Monday I'll be 100%. That's good." So did you get the flu shot? Then it goes 20 days later. That's when he sends the text message, "Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family." That's 11 days after this massacre and 20 days since he talked to him via text message to this neighbor. So he says, "Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family." And then he says, "Hey, thanks, man. Happy Thanksgiving." So, and that's all the conversation that they had in these text messages. So they didn't talk for 20 some odd days, at least via text message. They didn't correspond with each other for 20 full days. And to me, yes, Alicia, exactly. They seem to me like regular ash, normal ash text messages that people have with each other on the daily. Bros being bros, right? Hey, bro, you want to go out and do this and this, that, and the third? You want to hang out? You want to do this, this, and this? You know what I'm saying? Especially family men, okay? Especially family guys, okay? Not Peter Griffin, but family guys, all right? They, when they respond, they get time to respond. Now, see, okay, and I get it. You're looking at these text messages and you're going, but 20 days though. But 20 days though. Okay, let me say this really quick. 20 days. Let's see this real quick. Let's go back up to the top. He says, "Try to feel better, man. Somehow I've managed to avoid getting sick," right? This semester. That was 20 days before Thanksgiving. Now, they're neighbors, allegedly. I don't know how close they are neighbor-wise, but this is a guy who is a PhD and a TA at college. I'm sure his hours have been insane and very busy too, right? But then it says, "Thanks, man. I totally felt good enough. Today I finally feel good enough to go back to class," right? So then the conversation's over. Now, during that time, 20 days is quite a gap, but at the same time, you got to remember, maybe they had nothing to say to each other. I don't know, right? You got to remember, too, that this guy is a family guy, like a family man, okay? The neighbor. He's got a wife and all that, too. So I'm sure he's not hitting him up all the time saying, "Hey, you want to go and, you want to go down the street and pick up girls?" You know what I mean? You want to go down the street and grab a beer and maybe, flirt with some girls? No, that's not happening with him. So he might not be calling this neighbor or texting this neighbor very often because he's in a different part of his life. He's married, right? He's got a wife, so on and so forth. So that world may not be, he may not be hitting him up like that. And also, Alicia, again, with the other one, yes, people get busy, especially when you're going into midterms. You got papers that are due before Thanksgiving, before the Thanksgiving break. All those things. I can only imagine what he's doing. Like I said, we're just thinking outside the box a little bit. I already feel that this man is the man. Okay, but let's keep it real. All right, but let's be real. All right, he could be busy. That's the other thing too. We got to put it up on the other side. Fire up ain't wrong. He could have other things to do, like lurking, plotting, doing other things as well. Okay, so 20 days is quite a gap. Okay, quite a gap. But I got, even myself, I got very, very close friends that, shoot, I can go 2 weeks without talking to them because of life, personal things, getting busy, working, so on and so forth. You put in the time when you can get the time to reach out to those friends. You know what I mean? You just get busy. It just is what it is. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, especially during the holidays. Man, it's insane. Okay? It's insane. Okay. So when I look at that, it looks like regular text messages to me, but that could be someone trying to hide in plain sight, trying to act all normal, like everything's Gucci. I mean, that's what he has in his back pocket. He has nothing else better to do but to do that, right? He has no choice because he's got to do that. Now, those were the interviews that were with the neighbor. And I ask you guys, what say you? What are your thoughts on that? Okay? Because I know some of you guys may think, oh, that's extremely, suspicious and all that. And it may not be nothing at all, right? Could be a huge thing or it could be a nothing burger. This is the reason why I brought it up, because I want us to look at things a little bit more critically, okay? Because it's easy for us to jump down the rabbit hole to the insanity, to the mucky muck, to the conspiracies and all that, which of course we are going to be looking at a theory here in just a minute because of something that was presented recently. But at the same time, outside of this, when you hear that interview, when this neighbor is saying these certain things, what does it say to you? Does it show some sort of admission of guilt? Does it show that this person was up to no good or no? Definitely comment in the chat, okay? And don't forget to download that Swagget app, all right? We will be making an announcement on the winner very, very soon, okay? So go download it. The link is pinned to the top of the family chat. Let's not forget that. And please go follow me, The Pascal Show, one word, on that app. Comment and like some of my videos, and you get a chance to win some monies. The winner will be announced at the end of this show. So keep your ears pricked up, y'all. Okay? Just like a dog. You know what I mean? When you say treat, you know what I mean? They get super excited, right? Or outside. You know how dogs do you know what I mean? So be sure to do that. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Okay? Let's see it go past 700 likes. Lucky number 11. Hit that like button. Send it past 700 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay? Your boy's working hard out here in these streets. So support in any way you can. Now, we got to get into this next part. Okay? Exactly. Phantasmic ether. Exactly. Squirrel. And then they're just like, you know what I mean? They just lose their minds. So, squirrel. So, guys, and I appreciate all y'all support. You guys are amazing. Without you guys here, I'd be talking to a freaking wall. Now, here we go into the world of speculation, okay? So I do want to say that first and foremost. Speculation warning like a mother lover. I know some of y'all are going to be very upset. Some of y'all are going to start jumping down the throats of me and the content in which I am talking about here in just a minute. This is just a theory. I don't know what to make of this, but this is a video, or there is a video that has recently come out. Actually, I've been trying to find a way to get in touch with the actual owner of this content, okay? But you guys have been tagging me, DMing me, emailing me, all of this, the same link over and over and over again for the past 12 hours, okay? So we got to talk about this. And very funny, Tyler, you sneaky fox. Anyway, there is a video, and I can't really show you guys the video because out of respect of the content creator, the owner of the content, okay? But I am going to show you the screenshot, okay? And this is the Drunk Turkey Show, okay? They just recently had someone that is allegedly close. Creaky doors, gotta love it. He recently had an interview or a caller call in that was reportedly close to the students. Now, their kids were close to the students. So, like I said, I'm going to say this again. Huge speculation warning. We have got to talk about this whole idea of of the trap house theory. Okay, hold on. Pause before you guys get upset, before you guys get angry and start jumping down my throat. I'm just bringing up this theory because this was something that was brought up in a phone conversation that was had on this show, the Drunk Turkey Show. And it was something that was very interesting, okay? Because it does bring some other possibilities or bring some other sides of possibilities around what happened after the unalivings. Now, let me say this, okay? I know some of y'all getting angry. Some of y'all are going like, these kids, they don't deserve this kind of treatment, so on and so forth. I totally agree. But when you hear this, or when I heard this, I had a lot of questions. Because I'm like, wait a second, that kind of does make a bit of sense. It is crazy. Okay? It's a crazy thing, but now from what the people of what Daniel, the host, okay, of this show did, he did his due diligence. He did his research. He looked certain things up just to make sure that this person who was talking about these kids and their kids being connected to Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and Maddie, he was like, yeah, I went and did my research, and there is relations here. There is connections here. So let's talk about it. And I know this is going to be a part that y'all are not going to like. Some of y'all are not going to like this, and I apologize. What's up, Slap? What's up, Slap? But let me say this, okay? All right. In this conversation, this woman does say that the house was a trap house. Now, if you don't know what a trap house is, y'all, let me explain it to y'all, okay? That is slang term for when people go into a house and they buy or do drugs from that house, just so you guys know. That is what a trap house is, all right? So, which could make sense. Doesn't say, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yes, it was definitely. Nah. But I can see the theory. Okay? I can see it. Now, meaning, one, the house was notorious for being a party house. It is a party house. So when you hear party house, are you saying it's only for beer? A party house? You're telling me that they only do beer in this house? No marijuana, no other things? I'm just saying. This house had a open door policy. Now they're saying in this phone call conversation, of course I'm summarizing, but that there were things being sold in and out of this house. Now I know that there's been conversation about this before, and people got very upset, basically saying, how dare you say these things about these kids, so on and so forth. And I totally understand that. I totally understand that 100%. Okay? These kids could be angels. I still believe that they haven't done any wrong at all. That this unthinkable thing happened to these kids, and it's such a tragedy. But this is just so interesting, guys. See, and then Jam saying, no way, a trap house. Yeah, I don't see that's the thing. But then you're hearing it from this mother who was that kids that go matriculate to that school. Now, also at the same time, the thing that could be said here, and let's talk about that really quick, is that rumors are a son of a bee. Okay? Rumors are a son of a bitch. I said. Okay? And rumors on the street could be assumptions that house was a trappy trap. Could be easy for them to assume, oh yeah, drugs were being sold in that house for sure. Absolutely. Because of it being notoriously known as a party house. There are body cam footage that they have shown where people have said that this is a house that is, like a sanctuary. When anything goes down, if 5 are around, they go running into that house, like as if this is a safe space to go and run to if 5 gets, catches up on kids who are underage drinking, let's just say. So it was already known like that. And then, of course, it was the open door. From my theory, my own personal theory, I think it was an open door policy type of house. People were welcome in at any time, students and all that. And it was known as that. But because of that, I think that house gets the stamp of what the title of it being a trap house. Okay? And to me, I don't know. Parties happen, especially if you have a bunch of kids kicking it in a house. Of course, there's going to be stuff flinging around, especially when you don't have control over those kids. They're all getting together. They're all getting wasted. They're all doing their thing. Remember, we watched the body cam footage of cops answering to a noise complaint at 1122 King Road, where that house didn't even have the main occupants of the house. It was a rockin' party, absolute chaos, underage drinking all over the place. And they call up Madison, and Madison's nowhere to be found. She ain't even at the house. So only God knows what kind of craziness would transpire inside of that house with a bunch of underage kids finally letting their freak flag fly, or finally exacting their freedom from the clutches of their parents on any given Friday or Saturday night. So, of course, there would be theories, I'm sure, rumors flying around saying that this was a trap house. But was it, though? Okay? But was it, though? Now, the other thing that I want to point out, which is interesting, okay, because it was talked about in this video. And you know what? Shout out to Drunk Turkey, the Drunk Turkey Show, for having this phone conversation. Because this caller could very well be telling the truth, or it could all be cap. We don't know. Okay? We don't know. And you know what, Agro? First off, I heard your birthday's coming up. When is it coming up? That's what I want to know. And second, so I can give you a happy birthday. But this is exactly. I love how people are shocked, how some people are shocked at what's going on college ground. Absolutely. You think that they're out there all inside of that house just drinking Perrier and reading the Bible? They ain't doing that, babies. They most definitely not doing that. They are finally exacting their freedom from their parents, from the clutches of their parents, from the overwatch, okay, from the glaring eye of the rents, okay? They're finally saying, yes, I'm free. I can finally do whatever the hell I want. I can get drunk. I could do this, and this. I could get laid. You know what I'm saying? They're all doing that. It's college. What else is new? Okay? But there was another piece that was said in this conversation, this video call, or this phone call, I'm sorry, that was very interesting. Now, I know this kind of takes us back, okay? We're going back. We're going back to a conversation we had about a week ago. And it's about DM. Yeah, I know some of y'all like, keep my wife's name out you. And I get it. Okay? I get it. But there's something interesting here. She talks about this house being a alleged trap house. Okay? Again, this is taking this with a grain of salt, but it does bring up a very interesting question. What couple things you got to put into consideration. Number one, DM saw a shadowy man dressed in all black walk right past her, goes right out the sliding glass door, bushy eyebrows, face was covered, but she saw his eyes and his bushy eyebrows. Okay, and he ran out the door. She goes into the room and she locks it. She does not come out, or a phone call to 911. Emergency phone call was not made until noon of the very next day. Now, one thing that was very interesting about this phone call was what was brought up. Because as I'm thinking about it, it did hit me kind of like, wait a second. So if it was allegedly that a house of trap, okay, why would she wait so many hours to call 911? And second question, why would she call her friends or other people first before she called 911? Again, this is a theory, speculation warning, okay? But put that into your pipe, smoke on it, and ponder for just 1 minute, loves. Okay? Think about it. Speculation warning. Okay? Warning. This is just a theory. She did not call for several hours. Now, I get it. She could have passed out for a good portion of that. But as soon as she got up, she called friends first. Then they called 911. Now, if any of this theory in this conversation that was had, any of it is true, then we have to look at it in a very interesting perspective. Could there have been a situation where they needed to get rid of some stuff? Not evidence pertaining to this unthinkable crime, but what if they were trying to get rid of stuff so the house doesn't get in trouble for other things? Again, theory. Theory. Okay? Speculation. But why would she not call for so long? It's a theory. Okay? It's a theory. I'm not sitting here saying that this is ironclad. I am not sitting here saying that this is scripture. All I'm saying is that it's an interesting perspective and is an interesting question to ask. Okay? I feel very, very bad, okay, very badly for this young woman and even for Bethany as well. We have yet to hear anything from Bethany. We haven't heard her account really at all. We haven't heard nothing at all. Okay? Nothing at all. But it does make you wonder. Joanne just said, cleaned up the house to allegedly makes sense to me. Yeah, cleaned up the house to allegedly makes sense to me. Maybe. Now, I know that there's been a lot that's been going on with the theories of, maybe buying drugs and or a drug deal gone bad and all that stuff too. I don't know about any of that. Okay. Now, that could be the reason. Oh, this is the other piece I forgot to tell y'all. Okay. And of course, again, let me put this up because I know some of y'all mother lovers want to take this stuff and try to turn it around and make me look like a jerk, and I'm not going to live for that. So speculation warning, okay? I don't know what that was, Jamaican, Irish, I don't know what it was, but just run with it, okay? Another piece. You got to remember his battle with addiction. Again, this is just speculation. But what are the chances of him driving around doing what he did? Remember when we looked at the probable cause affidavit and we were looking at the amount of times he circled around the block, basically circled around the house or circled around the block of the house and all that? He did it about 3 different times. What are the chances of him trying to talk himself down to buying some drugs? Like I said, maybe he was driving around trying not to go into that house to buy some things. Maybe. Again, these are all speculations, theories. This could all be very wrong. But right now, what we have is a goose egg of anything. We have this other phone call that we had, right? We had this phone call that was made on the drunk turkey show. Okay. It's very interesting. Now, those are just theories, just speculation. But remember, he circled around the area 3 separate times, at least according to security cam footage and all that stuff, showing a white Hyundai Elantra driving around 3 separate times. The third time he finally parked, right? He finally stops after the third time. Could it be him trying to talk himself out of getting a late night fix? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But it is very interesting because it makes you wonder how he was in that space or in that area at the time of these specific unthinkables. But then at the same time, if you do reverse, you go reverse and do some reverse math or whatever, okay? You go backwards, then why would he turn off his cell phone for that long period of time? That would make no sense. Why? What? Is his parents tracking his phone? And why would they even know if that house is a trap house or not? It doesn't make any sense. So then you do the reverse, you go reverse, right? Reverse engineer this. That's what I was trying to think of. When you reverse engineer this, it still does not add up to the house to allegedly being a trap house or anything of that sort. Or this being a drug deal that went bad, still does not make any sense. Because why would you turn off your phone to go pick up some drugs? Makes no sense. And then suddenly turn your phone back on 30 minutes after you're far away from that house. Still does not make any sense. Just because the house was a party house does not automatically mean that house was the trap house. Maybe it was a house where you could go and party and use those said drugs, but I don't think it was a place where you were selling. Like, I don't think Kaylee and Madison were just drug kingpins in their little Moscow, Idaho town. I really don't think, like, what? Kaylee and Madison and Xana and Ethan were Walter Whites. They were Heisenbergs. Like, I don't, nah. If you know what I'm talking about, Breaking Bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And personally, I don't believe that that there's that theory of this being a trap house. Rumors fly. Rumors go like crazy. But this being a trap house, I personally don't agree with it. I personally don't believe it. But I know that's a theory that's being thrown, that's flying like crazy right now, especially now with this phone call. And I'm not sitting here, I'm not discrediting this phone call at all. Guys, go and check out that interview. Okay. It's very eye-opening. It definitely makes you think of another possibility for sure, because anything's possible in this piece. Anything's possible. Okay. Anything is possible within this. Okay. But hold on one second, guys. And, the theories are running wild. Okay. And this is a mother that's speaking on behalf of her kids. Kids do talk. There are rumors that fly like crazy all over all over university, especially all over university campus, especially when you have the most popular house known to be the spot, the main hub where you go to get just smashed over there. Of course, there's going to be rumors that fly. Of course, there's going to be rumors that fly. But does that mean that that's the actual truth? So that's the only pushback I have on it. You see what I'm saying? Because I saw the whole interview on Drunk Turkey, on the Drunk Turkey show. And hey, like I said, not knocking the guys. They put it up. They did their thing. She called in. It's not they didn't do no wrong. She called into their show. But it also could just be rumors. This is the reason why I go, I want to see more proof. Or any of the students that actually did go party in that house. I'd love to hear them speak out. I'd love to hear them confirm, yes, it was known as a trap house. Yes, it was known as the house where, you can go get your stuff and you can do the stuff there too. Yes, this, yes, that, and yes, the third. Yes, there was copious amounts of, there was access to copious amounts of whatever's in that house. But the only question that still remains that does kind of go with this theory a tiny bit is the several hours that DM did not call 911. And the fact that she called friends before she called 911 is something very interesting that makes me scratch my head about why. And I know we've talked about that before in previous shows, but now you hear this trap house theory. It does make you wonder. Maybe she was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then realizing cops will be here soon. Once we call, cops will be here. We need to get this stuff out of this house as soon as possible. Maybe. But I have yet to see any proof to show me that. Right? So it's an interesting theory, the trap house theory, for sure. And I just ask you guys. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't. But I leave that up to you guys, the family, in the family chat. What say you on that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the theory is real, or do you think the theory is absolute crap? I don't believe it. But I've been wrong so many times with this case, and so have we all been absolutely wrong on this case. So I'd like to know a little bit more too. But I just don't think that these were all like the house was a house of Heisenbergs, that they just had the axe. They were the link. You know what I mean? They were the plug. You feel me? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know about all that. Sleuths Investigate just said, trap house theory sounds extremely outlandish. Yeah. And the funny thing is I was reading some of their comments in the on their page too. And there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of people who are sitting here going, man, that woman sounds crazy, man. But it is a theory nonetheless. And we've heard crazier. Okay. We've heard crazier theories. We heard the whole theory about, I showed it to you guys, the theory about Brian KOHBERGER being a bloody dog breeder and was the one that breeded Murphy. And that's the reason why they connected. That's how he got to meet Kaylee and Jack D. And that's how his obsession started. I was like, bruh, that's insane. That's insane. Okay. But you also got to remember, this is the reason why I was like, y'all better remind me. Y'all didn't. How dare you? How dare you not remind me? Okay. But let's not forget this piece here. Okay. And let me highlight this so you guys can see this, and I'll blow this up so you guys can see it even more. The search warrant for his apartment in Pullman, Washington has been temporarily sealed by an Idaho judge. The judge said the details could prematurely end the investigation and create a threat of public safety. Now, when you hear that theory of the possibility of this home being a trappy, okay, and then you hear about this, they're sealing information, it does make you wonder, what are they sealing? Why are they sealing this? Not only about, like, could there be another person involved? Could there be an accomplice? But also the whole idea of this prematurely end the investigation. Why? Because it could spin off into something else. Is there some incriminating information that they have on some of these students? If it is a trappy trap, you see what I'm saying? Very interesting, though. Very interesting, though, nonetheless. Right? And again, I'll say this one more time. Theory, speculation. Okay? I'm just throwing out these questions. Okay? I don't believe it. But then again, I've been wrong many times in my life. And a broken clock can be right 2 times a day. So you never know. Let me get the super chat really quick. Kookie Cat. What's up, Kookie Cat? Thank you so much for the £5. I appreciate it. All right. And by the way, don't forget, hit that link above. Still got a chance to win 100 smackers, y'all. Okay. Download Swagget app. Follow me, The Pascal Show, one word. Comment, like some of my videos. Entered in 100 smackers. New money, new year. Ain't that beautiful? You know what I mean? Like, in just a few minutes, your wallet could be that much thicker with some money in your pocket. Sexy. Okay, so go and do that immediately. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Okay. We're almost at 700 likes. Please hit that like button down below. All right. And don't forget to subscribe. All right. Subscribe. All right. Kookie Cat, thank you so much for the £5. We don't know who the friends are. Could simply have been Ethan's siblings. Remember, D was only 20. We can all say what we think we would be. We can all say what we think we would be done. Okay, so yeah, we don't know who the friends are. Could simply have been Ethan's siblings. True. That is true. Could have been a phone call to the friends. You're absolutely right. Remember, D is only 20. That is true. We can all say what we think. I think you're saying what we would have done. I think that's what you're trying to say. True. Again, can't predict. Right? We cannot predict what we would have done in that same situation. The trauma, the anxiety, the everything else. Also, you got to remember, there's also more speculation in stories out here saying that she had a traumatic, or she had some traumas happen to her in her upbringing as well. That, you know, you got to remember PTSD, etc. The things that people would have. That are already brimming inside of them that could trigger when they see something so horrendous or so shocking. You never know what you'd do. You might cower into the closet for several hours, right? Holding your favorite comforter or something like that, thinking that it will protect you and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like you're a kid all over again, right? The possibilities are absolutely endless for sure. Or you knee-jerk reaction, call 911 without even thinking. Bang. You see what I'm saying? But it is true. We don't know what we would do in that situation, especially when you have somebody that you care for, that you love or respect or whatever, however tight their relationship was. No matter what, you're shocked, you're scared, you're freaking out, right? You might call next of kin first, like Ethan's triplet brother and sister. You might, but then again, you might not. You might go, I don't know. It's just so weird that they would call maybe other frat guys or sorority sisters or something like that. It just still strange to me, because we do know for a fact a phone call was made before a 911 call was made, for sure. Other people were in that house. Other people showed up, made a phone call, a 911 phone call with Dylan's phone, saying that there was an unconscious person. That could be Dylan. That may not be Dylan, right? But that was somebody else on the phone. So someone was at the house when the 911 phone call was finally made. But we do know for a fact phone call was made first to someone, and then a 911 call was made several hours later. So still makes you wonder why that timeline and why such a huge gap in that timeline. Okay? Just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying too. Thank you so much for the 5. If so, why so long to clean up house? Just flush it. You got to remember. Let's be real. Okay, in this question alone. Okay? Why so long to clean up house? Just flush it. I don't think you realize how much investment those kids or a person is making when they get said stuff. So why, if you flush it, you still owe whoever you bought it from their money. So they're not going to sit there and flush it. They're going to try to get it out of the house as quickly as they can. You see what I'm saying? If that is the case. Again, that's if that is the case. Okay? Oh, and that's if that is the case. But ain't no way those kids are really going to do all that and then use their money, invest in that stuff so that they can sell, right, and make profit. Ain't no way that they're going to flush all that. Ain't no way. If I'm saying, and that's a hard if that is true. Okay. Now, Charlie Miller, thank you so much for the 2. No school today, MLK Day. Yes, it is. Happy MLK Day to every single last one of y'all. Showing. I'm thinking you're saying showing my support. Thank you so much for your support, Charlie Miller. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. But yes, if you just think about it, I mean, and again, that's just theory. And again, that's just from a phone call that was made on another show that I watched early this morning because I had received it so many times. And thank you guys so much for sending me this stuff. Of course, I want to see what's going on in other interviews and conversations that have been had. And this one is very interesting. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I still believe, yes, Joe, I agree. Him guilty. Okay? Brian the second. Because we already have a Brian deterred as well. We got Brian number 1. We already know the BL. Okay? Brian Laundry. We got Brian the second, which is Brian KOHBERGER. And then Brian deterred, which is Brian Walsh, of course, that we've been covering as well. Okay? But I know there's a lot of people that feel some type of way. Yeah, what up, Joe? What's up? What's up, brother? Wagwan. Okay? But yes, I still think this man is guilty. I don't personally think that this is a drug deal gone bad, but I've been so wrong on this so many times. So we have to put out that possibility or ask about it. Okay. And also, the other question we have is as well, what if there is a second person in this whole situation? There have been stories in that phone call that I listened to this morning, they said something about seeing 3 people outside the house. Again, this is all just from one person's phone call. And then I keep wondering, how does she know that there was 3 people outside the house? How does she know about this? Again, rumors are a mother beep. Rumors are something else. So I still wonder if that is entirely 110% true. Okay? Cookie Cat, thank you so much for the £5. I appreciate it. She says, yes, you were right. Sorry to typo before. Oh, okay. Cool. There was a case where a nurse hid under a bed for hours. Richard Speck unalived 8 other nurses that night. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So you got, and that's another tragic story as well. But you got people out here that are so terrified, of course, scared, frozen. Okay? Scared, frightened to the point where they lose their bowels, lose control over their bowels. I'm not kidding. People who just literally just wet themselves, mess their pants, etc., because they're so terrified. Okay? Scared beyond. Okay? So we have to put those things into consideration. People will do very uncharacteristic things when they're scared to death. Okay? So she could have been in there knowing that all these things have happened and just absolutely paralyzed with fright. We most definitely have got to put that in consideration, ladies and germs. See, Rose with Thorns said, I'd freeze. Shoot, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. Okay? Okay? I might be just throwing bows, like just throwing fists. Okay? Just throwing 5 pounds of meat and bone into somebody's face just because I'm frightened. And just run. You know what I mean? Some people would run. Some people would just drop to the floor and just and go into a ball, shivering in fright. Some will just knee-jerk reaction, slam the door, lock it, and just freak the F out as they back into a corner. Some will instantly call 911. Some will run towards the fire, say, F it. If I'm going to die, this is how I'm going to go. Like, shoot, man. People do crazy. People do a lot of stuff, okay? People do a lot of crazy stuff. You've seen all those videos, you know what I'm saying, where a guy gets scared and it's a friend trying to scare the friend with like a mask or something like that, and the dude just straight clocks him, just knocking him the F out in one punch. He's like, boop, and he's just in the arms of an angel, just gone. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen those videos. And then you see other people just drop to the floor, and some people just run screaming. And it's like, yo, man, it's me, bro. It's me. Stop. You've seen those things. Okay? We all do it. Fight or flight. We all do it. Alicia, thank you so much for the 5. Subconsciously, in these cases, when there are surviving victims, for people to pick the actions apart. Yep. Somewhat making them undergo public scrutiny. Absolutely. Because everybody and their mama knows, it feels like that, oh, yeah, if that was me, I'd be doing X, Y, and Z. And it's like, nah, man. You really don't know until you are there. And, as Ashley Banfield said, heavens to Betsy. I hope it never happens to y'all. Okay? Really, she said heavens to Betsy. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life until one show we watched it. I'm like, heavens to Betsy. That's a new one for me. Okay? But yeah, heavens to Betsy, I would hope no one would ever experience something like that kind of fear. You got a young, late teens, early 20s kid who's maybe under the influence of just a little bit of something, right? In the early hours of the morn. seeing some shadowy figure walk right by them, and then that fear, I'm sure, just shook her to her very core. It's like, who to say, who are us to say what she did, ended up doing was wrong. We don't know what we'd even do ourselves. And again, like I said, heavens to Betsy. I hope none of us have to experience that. Jeff H, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 2. When are you going to play the guitar back there? Sometime soon. You know what? Let me get to 100,000 subscribers, and I'll play that guitar for you. How's that? All out of tune and everything. Okay. It's been a while since I touched that guitar, y'all. It's been a while since I touched that guitar. But oh man. Sorry. Just reading you guys' comments and all that. All right. Heavens to Betsy. Yeah. So that's what's it's just like I said, a lot of questions are popping off. Understandably, we have people that have questions about all this. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, and this is the thing, like especially with the whole trap house conversation. The interview with one of the parents of one of the some of the students that actually matriculates and used to know the 4 that lost their lives. It's so easy for us to put things together and let the speculation machine run wild, right? Because we don't have anything. We only have as much as they've given us. And now everyone and their mama wants to be the one who just cracks the case even more, or cracks this case wide open. And the thing is that we will never truly know everything until we actually see the trial actually go down. They have everything. Unless something gets leaked. Unless something absolutely gets leaked here, we're not going to get everything yet. Ain't no way we're going to get everything yet. Sure. Okay? Ain't no way. Marlene RN, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is for the eyes eyes of the angels singing, and the heavens to Betsy. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I just try to throw in a little lightheartedness, guys. You know, all this doom and gloom can get to you. You know. Kimberly in Japan, thank you so much for the 500 yen. Thank you so much. All the way from Japan. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And I appreciate you staying. I don't even know what time it is in Japan right now. Actually, let me find out really quick. What time is it in Japan? World clock. Wow, you are watching it. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning over there. I mean, in Tokyo. So wherever you may be in Japan, thank you so much for watching the show at 3 o'clock in the doggone morning. Thank you. Okay. Jeff H, thank you so much for the 2. This gives us a spec. So they give us a spec, so we speculate. Absolutely. See, that's the thing. And that's the tragic side of it all, right? We're going to sit here, we're going to lean hard on our theories and etc. because we're all desperate to find out what the heck is going on, right? We all want to know what the heck is going on here. We're frustrated and annoyed. I'm frustrated and annoyed. I want to know what the hell is going on. I want to know the truth as well, right? And we're only going to know so much here soon. Now, I got another video I want to show you guys as well. This has nothing to do with the speculation. So speculation warning is over. The talk about the theory, okay? The talk about that theory is nonetheless a very interesting one, okay? Hold on. Interesting. Okay. But Nonetheless, if anyone has any connection to the Drunk Turkey show, please let them know that I'm trying to get in touch with them, because I'd really like to get them on the show to talk about this particular interview and all that. That's somebody definitely I'm trying to get that conversation off and popping. Okay. So definitely, if you have any connections, please connect me with them. I'd love to get that link. Okay. Because I don't feel right playing the video or playing the audio without their consent, without their thumbs up. But we had to talk about it. Okay. So this is another video really quick. I just wanted to show you guys. All right. And then at the end of this, I will be announcing the winner, okay, of the $100 from Swagit. So again, you still got some times, babies, okay? You still got time. Let me do this really quick. One more time. $100 giveaway going on today near the end of this show, very soon after we get through with this video. So stay tight. Stick around. All right. The Swagit app link is pinned at the top of the chat. Download, and it's underneath in the description box down below. Click on that link. All right. Click on that link. Follow me, The Pascal Show, one word. Like and comment on some of my videos. It's that simple. And you win some new money. Okay? You win some new monies. All right? It's very, very simple. But you got a little bit more time. You got like what? A little bit, 5 more minutes till you can win some monies. So let's take a look at this video really, really quick. And then I'll be making the announcement very soon. Let's roll.
So that's what Bryan Kohberger is experiencing right now. But what if he's convicted? What if he goes to prison for life? What if it's death row? I'm joined now by Larry Levine. He spent 10 years as a federal inmate at multiple security levels, and he's now the director and founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants, a company that helps people to prepare to be locked up. Larry, I always come to you for the guidance on what's to come and what's expected. We just heard the circumstances that Mr. Kohberger is experiencing currently in the Latah County lockup. What about if he ends up in the state penitentiary, or if he ends up with life, or if he ends up with death? Can you sort of sort that out for me, what life is like in those circumstances?
Well, most likely he's going to be, he's going to be PC. He's going to be in protective custody, because if they let him in general population, good possibility somebody is going to try to take him out and kill him. They'll get a lot of street cred in a prison by committing violence against somebody who's an informant, somebody who's a child molester, somebody that abuses women. So his life is pretty bleak. He's probably never going to be in general population. Let's look at Chris Watts, that other Peterson guy that killed his wife. They're locked in 23-hour lockdown also, and that's really what he has to look forward to the rest of his life. They're going to have to, as they say, pipe sunlight into him. When he goes to the rec yard, he'll be going to the rec yard by himself. It's not going to be in general population. He's not going to get regular visits that everyone is going to get. Probably they'll bring the telephone to him. They put it like on a dolly and they wheel it to the cell door, and you're reaching through the cell to talk onto the telephone. So life as he knows it is over. And right now, I doubt if he's sleeping, because he's replaying everything in his head, where he started, what he did, where he's at. And this guy, he craves attention. I bet he cut himself with those razors, because those are really deep cuts. I mean, the other individual that was in that jail is right. They do give you cheap razors, but to the point that he's been cut, that looks like a self-inflicted wound to me, but what do I know?
Larry, it's just remarkable, some of the insight that you have. I have about 10 seconds left, but I do want to ask you the difference. And he's still got the presumption of innocence. He hasn't been convicted. We don't know. He could be acquitted. But
yeah, sure.
What would be the difference between death row and life in prison, just in terms of your daily living? Again, I only have a few seconds, but I do want to hear that.
Life in prison, there's a possibility maybe he'll get conjugal visits. If he's on death row, he's in a cell block with other people on death row. he probably will never get out of this cell, except if he's going, let's say, to a religious service or maybe to visit with medical. So everything for him is going to be isolated for the rest of his life.
It is interesting to see that this is basically like a wrap, okay, for BK. Let's play this out really quick. Let's play out these possibilities here really quick, okay? What if he gets exonerated? Do you really think that he's going to have a wonderful, fruitful life? He's going to have for the rest of his life that scarlet letter tattooed on his chest. Shoot, tattooed on his forehead. Everywhere he goes, everyone is going to be looking at him like he is a monster. If and only if, which I doubt he will, if and only if he gets exonerated. I mean, of course we could talk about his life being over in prison. Clearly, his life would be over in prison. And also, you got to remember, he's looking down the barrel of the DP, the death penalty. Okay? He's looking at that too. And he's, of course, going to be fighting for that. Okay? He's going to be fighting for that, for sure. Right? So that he doesn't get that. But at the same time, if he ends up living his life in prison, yes, his life is over. But if he gets exonerated, his life will never be the same. It never will be. So that's something very interesting to think about as well. His life will never be the same. Jeff H., thank you so much for the 2, and thank you so much for emailing him and CCing me into it as well. I do appreciate that. Hopefully we can get Daniel or some of the members of the Drunk Turkey show on the show to talk about that phone call very, very soon. But again, look at, yes, Casey Anthony is living La Vida Loca, okay? But she's living her life. But for a fact, she's got that scarlet letter tattooed, okay, singed into her forehead. Everywhere she goes, everyone is looking at her like she's guilty. And it would be the same thing for Bryan Kohberger. It's something to think about, guys. No matter how interesting this individual looks right here, okay? All right? He is putting in some interesting facts here. And it would be wild if all this information that we have right now comes out and we're like, and none of it's true, right? Except for his social, him being socially awkward and all that. Outside of that, imagine if none of this other stuff is true. Be wild, y'all. It'd be absolutely freaking wild, okay? But real quick, I have to announce the winner of the Swag It giveaway, all right? The Swag It giveaway, this particular individual has just now won 100 smackers, all right? So here is the winner, Miss Wilson XO, at Miss Wilson XO. If you are in the chat, okay, congratulations. You just won yourself some money, some new money in the new year. Congratulations. Yay. All right. And this is very, very simple. I'm going to put this in the chat. Okay. I'm going to put this in the chat so that she can see this. I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but congratulations to Miss Wilson XO. The way that you can get your money, all right, to get your payment, the new crisp $100 smackers, all right, is by emailing swagitgiveaways@gmail.com, okay? You have to show a screenshot of your profile, all right? And, of course, in that same text message or in that same email, you have to give us the information and where we can actually send that money to, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever it may be. So please let us know about that as well. But the winner is, again, Miss Wilson XO. You have won 100 smackers, y'all. Congratulations. Congratulations. I appreciate everyone who's been following me and joining the Swagit app and all that. And don't worry, there will be other opportunities very, very soon. I'm hoping that we will be doing some more giveaways and all that. Just keep following, keep joining, and all that. Okay. But again, Miss Wilson XO just won themselves some money. Go and be sure to email Swagit giveaways. Let me repeat that again. swagitgiveaways@gmail.com. Okay. Screenshot of your profile and where they can send you the money. Very, very simple. Okay. Yes, exactly 720 Red Dog. I just bought a really nice woman a very nice spa day. Exactly. You know what I mean? Or I help pay her cell phone bill or her electric bill. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. She got some new monies in her pocket, and hopefully she does something really nice with it. Okay? Take her kids out to ice cream if she got kids or something. Okay? So, Miss Wilson XO, you win. All right? So be sure to do that as soon as possible. All right? So there it is. And you know, of course, we'll see how long it takes to for her to respond. Okay. Now, real quick, I got another piece for you guys. Oops. There we go. I got another piece for you guys, which I thought was interesting as well. There is a comment that was made. Allegedly, this is from a coworker of Brian KOHBERGER's. Okay. Or a former coworker, let's just say that. But I wanted to share this with you guys really, really quick, okay? And guys, if you don't mind, please don't forget to hit that like button down below, all right? Let's get it to 1,000. I'd love to see 1K. Hit that like button. Get it past 1K for me on this show. That would really, really mean a lot. We got a little bit left on this show, just this piece, and then I'm going to be wrapping it up. But please hit that like button down below. Send it past 1,000 likes. That would really mean a lot. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. All right? Crush that subscribe button. And of course, if you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, please go hit that join button down below as well. And check out my clothing line. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great deals. We got a brand new line of clothing that just dropped last week. So go and check out all that stuff. It'd be greatly appreciated, okay? Anyway, guys, let's get into this part here. All right. So, says I try update. I've tried to keep up and answer what I could. Thank you for all who kept this conversation kind, even the naysayers. You weren't disrespectful, and I appreciate that. I'm turning off comments at this time, okay, and getting some rest. Good night. So she says here, I worked with BK pre-COVID. I spent enough time with him to have my own take on this case. Here are my takeaways to this. Theory first. I do believe he did it, but only for research. Remember what we said earlier, okay? Remember what she said earlier, okay? Or sorry, remember what we said when he first got caught. Could it be a situation where he was trying to exact the perfect crime? Could it be that he was trying to do this as an experiment? And instead of him using those research papers and those surveys for other people who have committed crimes in the past, what if he actually wanted to turn himself into his own guinea pig and put him in the experiment instead, right? It's very, very strange, okay? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type stuff, okay? So let's get into this, all right? But only for research. He wasn't able to get enough research and needed to have real world experience. I feel like we are all a pawn in his game at this point. He planted the sheath. Why else would it be wiped of prints and DNA? I think he feels like he has a shot at getting a not guilty verdict. He has crossed all of his T's in his eyes. So he has crossed all of his T's in his eyes. I hope that the law enforcement officers have found something that they haven't shared. I also find one of our members' theories plausible, that BK was mimicking another case. Now, of course, she says, my frequently asked questions. Now, I'm not going to do that, but she was responding to some questions. Actually, I'm just going to read it anyway. So she says, this is her responding to questions. I don't know what the questions were, but we can assume what the questions were on here. Okay. So she says, no, during the years we worked together, he did not have a girlfriend. Number two, I have a hard time believing that he was on H, considering he was so strict with intermittent fasting and vegan lifestyles, as well as the fact that he has, and let me open up the next one because it's another screenshot. Okay. Intermittent fasting and vegan lifestyles, as well as the fact that he has aspirations to work for the FBI. Okay. Number three, we would talk about personality traits and disorders. He cared about what people thought about him, but couldn't pick up on social cues as to how they felt without being told. Yes, he was absolutely interested in SKs and their processes. No, I didn't feel in harm's way with him. Of the coworkers that I've spoken to, nobody felt like he would hurt them necessarily, but nobody would want to piss him off. Now she says, for A, he reacted once out of anger with a burst of energy. He has lied about an incident and got caught, which also made him mad. He forgot there were cameras. Last time I saw him was this summer at a walking park once. He was pleasant as expected. It was just a nice coincidence. His parents are as kind as they portray. They have and had an excellent reputation locally. And then she says, this person says, I'm willing to answer any other questions. Just give me time to answer them. So again, full on sociopathic tendencies, in my personal opinion. And it shows a little bit of like some narcissism in here as well, especially with the rage that he has being caught in a lie. Instead of just owning up to it, he lashes out and acts a doggone fool. It's interesting. It's interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. But that's somebody who worked closely with him in the past, showing some pieces of him. Yeah, I mean, if you're on his good side, of course he's going to be nice. Sounds like he has no social cues, okay, or he doesn't pick up social cues, which obviously kind of show certain sides of his antisocial, asocial tendencies. Lashing out can show some narcissism, the rage that he has, so on and so forth. Very sociopathic tendencies. But again, we'll see if, because that's just somebody posting something on the group, in that group chat on Facebook. That could all just be made up crap, or it could be very real. Just like the conversation, the phone call that was made with the drunk turkey show. It could be the person who called in could be 110% telling the truth, and the person could be lying through their teeth. But we will only know more as more information comes out. And I think it's really the thing of we got to sit back and wait for law enforcement to step forward and talk about those things, right? But they can't talk about anything until the trial. So we're only going to get more information if people from Moscow who knew like Brian closely, or other people from his school know him closely, step forward and speak out on their own accord. And that's kind of the thing that we need to sit back and wait on as well. But anyway, guys, that is the show. Okay. I really do I do appreciate you guys coming in and being a part of the conversation. Sorry, I was reading some of you guys' comments and all that. And again, we can go into speculation land all day long. We're going to find out more information as time goes on, but there are some interesting theories out there, guys. And at this point right now, yeah, some of them are far-fetched as hell, but none of them are. We can't say any of them are wrong because we don't know the truth. We don't have factual evidence yet. So the theories are theories, and that's just what they are. Theories. Some of them are good. Some of them are absolute trash. Okay? Absolute trash. But some of them do kind of make a little bit of sense. And I hope that law enforcement is at least entertaining some of these theories, right? And the prosecution is entertaining some of these theories as well. Trying to tighten up these Swiss cheese holes out of this whole situation. Because for a fact the defense is going to be using as much. They're going to be playing around with these Swiss cheese holes like crazy, trying to expand them as much as they can so that they can bring in reasonable doubt within this trial. Charlie Miller, thank you so much for the 5. Antisocial behavior isn't a crime. I've been labeled as antisocial, but can pick on cues. BK is something more, way more. Absolutely. Being antisocial does not mean that you're out here unaliving people. Okay, definitely. I have plenty of people in my world that are antisocial people and that cannot pick up social cues for sure. So that doesn't automatically mean that, that's the culprit, that's the bad guy. No. But interesting. But it is interesting nonetheless knowing about this information. Again, but that's the thing. Any of this information that we have out here, is it enough for prosecution to use against Brian? Because right now, all of this is hearsay. All of it. Hearsay. Can it be used? Is there footage of him lashing out? Is there proof of showing his personality traits, his rage, etc., that are out here? Maybe they do have that footage. Again, she said in there, now let me show this to you guys before we rock and roll out of here. It says it right here, 4A. He reacted once out of anger with a burst of energy. He has lied about an incident and got caught, which made him mad. Okay, so he went into a fit of rage. He forgot there were cameras. So if that is some information, where are the cameras at, Dan? Okay, where are the cameras at? Where's the footage on that? Because I'd like to see that too. If he's in the classroom or wherever they worked at together, if he lashed out and lost his doggone mind and it was caught on camera, where's the footage? Where's that beautiful bean footage, baby? Because that's what I'd like to see too, right? So we'll see. Again, these are all just theories until we actually have ironclad proof. Again, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Please do me a favor. And one more time, congratulations to our winner, Miss Wilson XO. Congratulations. You won $100. Be sure to go email them, give them your information and all that, and they will make sure they send you your money, okay? Because that money is yours, girl. So go and enjoy it. Go get a pedicure and a manicure, or maybe a manicure, because I know y'all's when y'all get your nails did, those things get real elaborate and real expensive. But go and enjoy it on behalf of Swagit, okay? And big thank you to Swagit for the hookup and giving somebody in my family, okay, one of my family members, some new money in the new year. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. But before you get going, don't forget to hit that like button before you leave. Okay? Love to see it go past 1K. That would really mean a lot. We're only less than 40 some odd likes away. And if you haven't done it yet, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on the best party. You're missing out on the best party, baby. Okay? Hit that subscribe button here. Okay? Be greatly appreciated. And when you do, welcome to the Pascal Show family, okay? Anyway, it's time to get going. I love all y'all. Have a great, wonderful wonderful day. And I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. I will be on a little bit later on this afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, because I got another unsolved case that we need to talk about that has nothing to do with the Idaho 4. So we will be talking about that today. Very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that, okay? It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.